Omega doing their best to try and remain in contention, continue pushing up towards the top of the leaderboard, and maybe be able to unseat Jannisz and Rezon. But it's going to take a monstrous performance because, like we talked about, it was nearly a 100-point lead coming into the final game. Now, you're thinking, Sundown, 100 points, there's no way you can catch it. A victory royale is 55 because you start getting individual placement points for each one of the top 25. And then additionally to that, each elimination is 5. And with a duos competition, it's not unheard of to see kind of a 10 or a 12 elimination duo win, which would be enough for them to overtake. But again, when we talk about having to do everything right, their back is against the wall in relation to the #1 spot, and right now setting up one of those traditional ambushes.
And at the same time, all those elims could be easily racked up with Marvel superpowers. We've been seeing those Marvel powers come into play where a team could get a double pump, bang, flick around, get the unit beam going. That's another elim. Throw down Thor's hammer. That's another elim. Right back to back to back, where traditionally it may take a while to get the beams or the pump shotguns. So it is a question. Lucia, Omega, your time is right now to overtake Jannisz and Rezon, but you mentioned before it's going to take a Hulk-like performance to overcome it, or shall I say a She-Hulk type performance to overcome the odds as time is coming down to it, as this match is going to the closer and closer to that 4th zone. This is it here. Can they go ahead and utilize? But you're just seeing how valuable they want placements. It's a question, should we or should we not push this duo and hurt our chances? And that is another strong duo, and Lincoln 7 tour, and they push at the right time. Their timing impeccable.
But Omega needs to be careful. Again, we've talked about it, making sure you're doing everything right. The shots are coming in right now. Lusha into the box. Omega goes down, and it's all going to be on Lusha. 7 tour on the other side of this says, hey, you're going to take down Link. I'm going to take down your chances at remaining in this tournament. Omega gets turned over. Lusha utilizes a shockwave to disengage, but no reboot card in play. He has plenty of excess shields to get himself back up to that 100 threshold. But now, all of a sudden, Jannisz and Rezon's spot atop of the throne looks that much more secure as our #2 duo loses a member. Omega falling when he could not afford to. 7 tour wreaking his revenge in all but guaranteeing a Jannisz and Rezon victory, minus some heroics from Lusha.
And that was that should we or should we not situation. That is consequence of what happened right there. And just like the Marvel powers, you're going to have the pros, but the consequence is what makes you be that hero that you are. And Lucia Omega pay the price right there. But we're all bored here with the solo clutch that could happen right here from Blackso. Even though they're not going to be able to compete for the big time money, they're still, again, moving that comma to the left a little bit more, where you get in a couple hundreds there every time you keep moving up the board as much as possible. So that is what's at stake for Blackso and his teammate. And Yaz is right now cheering him on, because now we're going to see another solo Lone Ranger performance. And this is it. 28 placements out for grabs, 48 players alive, so you know there's a couple of solos out and about, and there is a couple of mountains out and about who could claim a lot of the toll here of the lobby, as we're going to take a nice panoramic view and see that who's going to have that strong opportunity to do so. You see Spectrum's Hulk alongside with Become Legends Yoda sitting up top with a strong opportunity to lay down a lot of beams, but Blackso is going to try his best to survive and use a lot, as you see here, defensive Marvel powers, but oh no, Sundown, things are not looking good. Double unit people, what a great block with Group's Bramble Shield.
Disengage right away, using every portion of that, the mobility, the nice little damage absorption, and getting over to the side. Couldn't have done better for the French veteran Gamers Origin Blackso. Well done there. But what we're keeping an eye on is that elimination feed in the top left-hand corner. We're going to check now and get a wide of everyone else who's left in the lobby. We can see towards the side, but we're keeping an eye to see if Jannisz and Rezon go down. Until we see their names up there, there is not a hope for anybody else to be able to catch them. And as soon as I say it, you see Rezon gets knocked. That's Lazarov potentially opening the door for a comeback. Double unit beams now coming out from Shinken and Stompy, the longtime World Cup duo. And Jannisz and Rezon are down in 28th. Gamma Shinken will get the conversion onto Nefrizi, but all of a sudden, in the final game here, Lusha could potentially look to clutch up in the moments, but it's going to take a whole bunch of elims. I believe Hen and Chapix are still on their feet as well. Those are the two duos who now all of a sudden have potential to maybe sniff that #1 spot to see, hey, we could be the Marvel heroes of the day. We could be the ones to walk away with that $2,000 a piece and be crowned the winners of the Super Cup. And Shinken and Stompy right now trying to get a little bit of room for themselves as well.
And this duo is in 3rd place at the moment going into this match. So there's another one that could have an opportunity. Yes, Lucia is right there that just has to hold on. But yeah, I like that. Who can be heroes for just one day? And that is an opportunity for Stompy and Chicken to possibly be the heroes. And I like what they're doing here. Making Unibeam doing the brunt of her work. Not having to go right in and then following up with the Mjolnir strike from the Bifrost. That is going to be big, and that picked up a nice elim right then and there. And hey, they have a strong position on top of the side of this mountain here, Sundown, as you're seeing a lot of duos now making the rotation into the safe zone. And I'm thinking Stompy and his duo mate are going to make this rotation late and just go ahead and sit on height with Chinkin.
Yeah, they're going to look to rotate late, utilizing their mobility in the Silver Surfer form there. You can see checking on the wide there. Did still see Hen and Chapix on their feet, so they are still in the match there. Currently on board here with Onyx Wing and Schnug Kelfe, trying to get a little bit of room here. Currently sitting on 2 eliminations. We're into our top 25 duos. That means every duo that drops at this point will be 1 additional placement point, 1 point closer to the top of the leaderboard, because again, our #1 team, Wave Jannisz and Rezon, have gone down in 28th, only 10 points from this game. But the question is, can they capitalize? Can somebody rise up at the end and steal their glory? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you lead wire to wire. If somebody else gets that final blow, all the loot and the spoils will go to them. And we see Lusha still on his feet right now, hanging out in the mid-ground.
Keep an eye on Lucia. Keep an eye on Chinkin and Stompy. They're the ones that are in striking distance. Keep an eye on Hen and Chapix, because they're the ones who could have that huge pop-off. Now, also, you got to keep an eye on the Storm. You can't forget this. This is still a Fortnite Battle Royale. You still have to deal with these moving circles, and now you see as well, yes, Storm Surge is active, but 6 players have to go on. We have to keep an eye on that. So many factors are going into this rotation, and right now, Wings and Kelpie going to use a Mega Shockwave bounce and attach to the nice use of the antenna. So that's going to be a nice natural terrain. That's going to be a nice stronghold and a great opportunity to send down Unibeams on the lobby.
And so much priority positioning. It's going to be able to save them having to utilize their cooldowns, and now they're just looking to rack up as many points as so many players are dropping. You can see the bouncer over on the side to connect towards the hill. A really good job there. Now he's going to catch up to his partner on board here. Kelpie and Wings doing their best to just ride out the rest of the lobby. The Iron Man Unibeam towards the backside of the zone. Not going to find it, and Shinken goes down, which means it's all on Stompy and Lusha here to try and do their best to try and close the gap, but it's looking more and more like Jannisz and Rezon did enough to just hold on. You see Lusha pick up an elimination there onto Kiriachi, but not seeing the number of eliminations that they would need to press towards the top. And with Wings and Kelpie up on the high ground, uncontested, raining down shots, Stompy falling, they're going to be the dream enders and just try and get as much as they can. Lusha still on his feet, able to pick up Black, so as Valen will finally go down. Lusha doing everything he can to just try and remain in the conversation, but it's not going to be enough as Wings and Kelpie just continue to rain fire down on the lobby.
That premium positioning, they are taking advantage, and they're walking with a lot of elims in just that rotation. Being able to get to the antenna, to get to the mountain has racked them up so many elims. 7 elims, and they're not done yet, but also they're going to have the ability to close out the door with Unibeam. 3 placements left. 4 players left in this lobby, including this duo. So it's now a 2v1v1. So that's going to be an opportunity for Wings at least to walk away with the victory royale. Now it's a 2v1 situation. Wings, Kelpie, and there it is. The zone is moving back up it's going actually across. So Trilix is going to have an opportunity to breathe, but not so fast. The unit beam is coming in hot, and that unit beam could create the big time fire. The scissor ramp is going up for the opponent here. Kelpie and Wings can close out with the EU victory royale, and they do. But you mentioned Sundown. There was so much chaos that happened, but it is Jannisz and Rezon who did all the work earlier to put him in a great position to maybe walk away with the Marvel Super Cup championship.
I don't think it's going to be a maybe. I think Jannisz is going to add another one to the trophy case, but let's not take away from the accomplishments there of Wings and Kelpie. We talk about how sometimes those last game heroics get lost because we announce a winner. They rocketed themselves up the leaderboard. The final victory royale, securing a large number of eliminations. I believe that was like an 80-plus point game to be able to push themselves up into the top 10. That is a huge payday, and it's something that I definitely make sure we don't want to lose, because the performance in those final moments when it's so clutch is such a great story from those guys.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's looking to chase that first place spot, right? But if you can jump, say, outside of top 20 into that top 20, that in itself is also a statement, right? That just proves that your duo is incredible, that you need to be recognized. And on top of that, you're going to walk away with not only the recognition from everyone else in the community, but you're going to walk away with more prize money, right? Like, so all of these last minute efforts to kind of slide up the leaderboards, it does make a difference. But gentlemen, it is time to see who our overall winners here are from the Marvel Super Cup, and you guys called it. It is none other than Rezon and Jannisz. I mean, these guys went into this final game with almost a 90-point lead, and they managed to close out the day 578 points, a victory royale, 79 total eliminations with an average placement of 19th. I mean, Sancho, they put on a show for us here in EU.
And oh my goodness, that winner's graphic looking really cool to see Iron Man there. But hey, look at how close it was for Hen and Chapix that we were talking about, man. Lucian Omega taking that engagement in retail row costs them their $500, but that's what I'm talking about. It's all about moving that comma a little bit to the left. But I just like seeing all the action unfold, and to see these names on the leaderboard. Congratulations to all our competitors here today. Sundown, I like it, man. Really cool.
Yeah, and right at the end there, we saw it too, that Shinken and Stompy were able to rocket themselves up the board. But there, as we get on to the next page, Onyx, Wings, and Shinone Kelpie getting a huge performance in the final game, pushing themselves all the way up to 8th place. Brilliantly done by them. Also have to give a shout out again, Hen and Chapix rocking up into 2nd place. They weren't actually in that final lobby. That was an error of my call there. They were in a different one, but they managed to get 3rd place and 6th elim. So just off of the pace to be able to get the overtake. But now we're going to pop on over. We still see Kripa and Dees, Hulk, Yoda, Wheat, Shadir, Ruru, and Aborn, and Lore and Razumi in 11th through 15th. Congratulations to all of you. And some more familiar faces here in terms of 16th to 20th.
Absolutely. You got Gemside 2's Gamma Thomas HD making an appearance. But hey, so new names that I'm kind of falling for is Valent and Colin. We were talking about their cooldown management and how they were able to kind of take hold of the Marvel powers. What a great performance in rounding out our top 25. Of course, is Monster Mercher 77 and PK. Someone tell Monster D-Face to hide, because Monster Mercher is out and proud.
I knew you were going to make the joke. I was like, don't touch on, no, dang it. Oh, man. Overall, this is such a fun day of action. But, of course, if you want more, we've got more over in NA East. But we have to reposition the helicarrier. We got to make that travel before we can get into these games. From all of us here, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning into EU. Take a break. Go find some food. Get some hydration. Come back, though, because we have more Marvel Super